Every single time you flip a switch or plug in your phone, you're tapping into one of the most powerful forces we've ever managed to harness. But that raw power, it's been tamed. It's controlled by this hidden system of rules and principles. So today, we're going to pull back that curtain and take a look at the invisible shield we call electrical safety. And that really is the big question, isn't it? What separates a convenience from a catastrophe? Because when you're dealing with electricity, that line can be razor thin. The answer? Well, it lies in a really deep and deliberate commitment to safety, a whole set of standards designed to keep that incredible power right where it belongs.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. This isn't some friendly suggestion or a good idea to have. As our source material points out, safety is a non-negotiable cornerstone. It's the absolute foundation that makes sure the power we use to build our world doesn't turn around and become a danger to the very people in it.
So let's start with the main challenge here: uncontrolled energy. It's a totally unseen hazard. You can't see it, you can't smell it, but its potential for harm is just massive. And that's exactly why having a structured approach isn't just helpful, it is absolutely critical. So how in the world do we manage this invisible risk? Well, the solution is built on what you can think of as 3 pillars of safety. These are distinct, but they're all interconnected standards that work together to create a really comprehensive safety net. All right, let's break down how this team works. First, you've got OSHA. Think of OSHA as the general rulebook for the entire workplace. It covers everything, from making sure your ladder is safe to what protective gear you need. Then you zoom in a bit with NFPA 70E. This is the hands-on guide specifically for working with electricity. It's all about preventing shock and, especially, those incredibly dangerous arc flash events. That's when electricity literally jumps through the air. And finally, you have the National Electrical Code, or NEC. This is the installation blueprint. It dictates exactly how electrical systems have to be designed and installed safely from day one. So you've got the rulebook, the guide, and the blueprint. See how they form a complete protective system? Now, to really appreciate how these rules work, we gotta speak the language of electricity first. And honestly, it all boils down to 3 core principles that govern every single circuit out there. First step, you have voltage. The easiest way to think about it is like water pressure in a pipe. It's the force, the push, that gets everything moving. It's all about potential. So, if voltage is the pressure, then current is the actual flow of the water. And this part is so important. Current is the thing that's most dangerous to the human body. It's that flow of electricity that causes an electrical shock. And what pushes back against that flow? That's resistance. So, sticking with our water pipe analogy, resistance is like a narrowing of the pipe that restricts the flow. Materials with high resistance, like the rubber coating on a wire, are called insulators. Things with low resistance, like copper, are conductors. They let that current move freely. So you've got pressure, flow, and opposition, and that's the battlefield where all these safety standards operate. But, understanding these principles is really just the beginning. It's applying them out in the field where safety actually happens. Let's take a look at how professionals take these ideas from the textbook into the real world. Okay, let's look at the NEC, that installation blueprint we talked about. It's actually put together in a really logical way. Article 90 basically tells you the purpose of the whole code. Article 100, that's your official dictionary, making sure an outlet means the same thing to everyone. Then you get to stuff like Article 110, which sets out critical requirements. Have you ever wondered why you're supposed to keep that area around your home's breaker box clear? That rule comes straight from Article 110. It's designed to give a technician safe and easy access in an emergency. It's a super practical rule born directly from these core principles. And this is exactly how pros master their craft. It's not about just reading a book. It's all hands-on. Training means actually navigating the NEC to find the right requirements, performing what's called a lockout/tagout to safely de-energize equipment before you work on it, using a multimeter to measure voltage, current, and resistance right there in the field, and of course, always using the proper personal protective equipment. So why does any of this matter to you? If you're not an electrician, who cares, right? Well, you're interacting with this incredibly complex and powerful system every single day. Think about it. Every outlet in your wall, every light switch you touch, every appliance you use, all of it has been designed and installed according to these pillars of safety. The NEC's blueprint, NFPA 70E's work guidelines, and OSHA's big picture rules. They all work together to create that invisible shield that's protecting you right now. So the next time you look at a breaker panel, or even just a simple wall outlet, I hope you'll see more than just a piece of plastic and some metal. you'll be seeing the end result of a massive, meticulously designed safety system. So now the question is, what other invisible layers of safety are you going to start noticing all around you?